World's coolest concept car, Mercedes AVTR. In the near future, the year 2035, the lines between man, machine, and nature blurred to form something entirely new, an automotive revolution so captivating that it transcended the notion of a mere vehicle. The world was about to meet the Mercedes-Benz AVTR, a concept car that was not just designed to drive, but to feel. It wasn't just cool, it was alive. The story of the AVTR began on a crisp autumn morning at the International Auto Show in Munich, where Mercedes-Benz unveiled their most ambitious project to date. The room buzzed with anticipation, filled with the brightest minds of the automotive world, and a sea of curious journalists, enthusiasts, and tech moguls. There, standing under the spotlight, was a gleaming, organic-looking vehicle that seemed more like a living organism than a car. At first glance, the AVTR didn't resemble any car people had ever seen. Its body was sleek, flowing, and curved like the wings of a bird, with no sharp edges or rigid lines. Nothing about it screamed machine. Instead, it echoed the design language of the natural world, evoking the grace of a jellyfish, the fluidity of a leaf floating on water, and the biomimicry of the most advanced life forms. Its surface was a stunning blend of metallic, translucent materials, which shimmered as if alive, with subtle color shifts that matched the surrounding environment. But it wasn't just the exterior that stunned. As the crowd gathered around, they saw the car move in an entirely unique way. The wheels, if they could even be called wheels, shifted position autonomously, moving with fluid motion like an animal's legs. Each movement was precise, controlled by artificial intelligence that adapted to the terrain around it. The vehicle glided silently, its feet hovering over the ground with a grace that defied physics. And then, the magic happened. Sophia, still unsure, closed her eyes and cleared her mind. She thought of the lush, winding roads leading through the park's green meadows. No sooner had the thought formed than the AVTR began to move, its wheels, or rather, its adaptive legs, shifting seamlessly. It didn't drive, it flowed. The smoothness of the movement, the quiet hum of the bioenergy system, the soft vibration of the car's communication with the ground. It was as if the AVTR was not just driving on the road, but moving through it. The park's trees seemed to stretch taller as they passed, the air fresh and brimming with life. It wasn't just about getting from point A to point B, it was a sensory experience. The car became a companion, responding to Sophia's subtle cues of comfort and anxiety, adjusting the interior lighting to calm her, playing soft, ambient music through the speakers to suit her mood. The connection was instant, and for Sophia, it was a revelation. She wasn't just driving a car, she was in a dialogue with it. She reached out, almost unconsciously, and the car shifted directions, responding as though it knew her intentions before she even thought them. "How is this possible?" Sophia whispered, overwhelmed. Dr. Muller's voice came softly over the intercom. "The AVTR has its own AI, but it's also interconnected with your brain waves. It learns from you, senses your emotional state, and adapts to your needs, both physical and mental." A world without traffic. The more the AVTR interacted with its surroundings, the more its true potential became clear. It was never just about the individual car, it was about collective mobility. The AVTR's neural network allowed it to communicate with other AVTRs and, in fact, any vehicle within the global network. The AI infrastructure connected the vehicles on an advanced blockchain system, ensuring that each car knew its place in the world's transportation ecosystem. Traffic jams were a thing of the past. As vehicles communicated with one another, they would adjust their speeds, lane positions, and routes. If one AVTR detected congestion ahead, it would inform the others, suggesting alternate routes or even coordinating group movements. Like schools of fish swimming in perfect synchrony, no longer would drivers need to worry about their own navigation. The collective intelligence of the AVTR network would ensure the most efficient, safest route for all passengers. It was a whole new form of intelligent traffic management. Cities began to adopt the AVTR's principles, and urban landscapes began to evolve in response. Streets became quieter, cleaner, and safer, with the integration of autonomous vehicles that could predict and communicate with one another. Roadways were now designed with nature in mind, including more green spaces, open parks, and communal areas where cars could recharge, interact, and even rest. The evolution of mobility, months turned to years, and the AVTR's technological innovations continued to evolve. As the first AVTRs began appearing on the roads, cities were transformed. One notable example was in Copenhagen, which became the first city to fully integrate the AVTR's ecosystem into its urban planning. Every car in the city, whether an AVTR or a non-electric vehicle, was now linked to an open network, collaborating seamlessly with its environment. Roads were designed to be interactive, with embedded sensors that communicated with the vehicles above. Traffic lights no longer existed, as the vehicles communicated directly with one another and optimized flow without the need for human intervention. The roads themselves had become smart, alive, responding dynamically to the demands of the people who use them. For the first time, it felt like humans and their technology were truly in sync with the natural world. The AVTR did not just move people, it moved society. It inspired a change in the way people thought about transportation, not as a tool for individual convenience, but as a force that could shape communities, environments, and global ecosystems. A partnership with nature. But the AVTR was not only transforming cities, it was reshaping the way humanity interacted with the planet. The car's biodynamic engine, powered by renewable energy sources, was just one part of a greater vision to reduce humanity's carbon footprint. Every AVTR on the road contributed to ecological restoration, not just through its zero-emission design but also by capturing CO2, filtering pollutants, and even helping to replant forests. In a groundbreaking project, Mercedes-Benz partnered with global conservation groups to introduce a new initiative called Driving for the Earth. The program encouraged AVTR owners to plant trees and engage in environmental restoration projects whenever they used their vehicles. The AVTR's onboard AI would track the environmental contributions made by each vehicle, rewarding users with credits for eco-friendly actions, which could be used for everything from free charging to exclusive experiences. By the time the AVTR reached its fifth generation, it was no longer just a car. It had become a tool for living in harmony with the Earth. It had redefined what it meant to travel, to connect, and to coexist with nature. Mercedes-Benz had not simply built a car, they had built the foundation for a sustainable future, one that bridged technology and humanity in ways that no one had ever thought possible. The AVTR's legacy was clear. A new era had begun, and it was cooler, smarter, and more interconnected than anyone could have ever imagined. This was not just the future of transportation, it was the future of the planet. The world beyond cars. Mercedes-Benz's vision for the AVTR was always about more than just cars. The company had spent decades building its reputation as a leader in cutting-edge automotive technology, but with the AVTR, it had set its sights on something much bigger, the integration of technology into the fabric of life itself. And as the AVTR began to touch every aspect of society, its impact went far beyond transportation. Education, for example, was radically transformed. Schools in cities powered by the AVTR ecosystem had adopted interactive learning pods, which were essentially AVTRs configured for educational use. Students could travel to virtual learning hubs, exploring subjects in ways they never could before, visiting historical sites across the world, experiencing outer space firsthand, or even studying deep-sea ecosystems without leaving the classroom. These learning vehicles allowed students to feel what it was like to truly experience knowledge, not just memorize facts. Healthcare took another massive leap forward, with AVTRs acting as mobile diagnostic centers that could monitor health metrics and even provide real-time therapy. Doctors were able to use the AVTR's AI to remotely assess patients' conditions, while the vehicle itself could provide immediate relief with self-healing technologies and psychological assistance, whether it was through AI-guided meditation, soothing music, or by suggesting stress-relieving practices based on a person's emotional state. World's coolest concept car, Mercedes AVTR. In the world of futuristic automotive design, few vehicles have captured the imagination quite like the Mercedes-Benz Vision AVTR. Unveiled at the 2020 Consumer Electronics Show, CES, this concept car, inspired by the film Avatar, redefines what it means to blend cutting-edge technology with sustainability and artistry. The AVTR isn't just a car, it's a vision of what the future could be. The design. The first thing anyone notices about the Mercedes AVTR is its otherworldly design. With smooth, organic curves and a glowing, pulsating interior, the car feels alive. The body is streamlined and sleek, appearing to flow like water, while its illuminated wheels can rotate 30 degrees, allowing the vehicle to crab walk sideways. This feature isn't just a stylistic flourish, it's a hint at how mobility could evolve in urban environments. Perhaps the most striking feature of the AVTR's design is its 33 bionic flaps on the rear. Resembling reptilian scales, these flaps move and respond to the car's surroundings, enhancing aerodynamics and communication. It's a visual symphony of form and function, a car that interacts with the environment rather than merely existing within it. Sustainability at its core. The AVTR doesn't just look futuristic, it's built for a sustainable future. The car is powered by a revolutionary graphene-based battery that is entirely recyclable and free from rare earth metals. The interior features vegan materials, such as dynamic microfiber, made from recycled plastics. Even the wood trim comes from fast-growing, sustainable sources, reinforcing Mercedes' commitment to eco-friendly design. The AVTR's emphasis on sustainability goes beyond materials. Its integration of energy-efficient systems and focus on environmental harmony reflects a shift in automotive priorities, a move away from excess and toward mindfulness. Human-vehicle symbiosis. Unlike traditional cars, the AVTR eliminates the need for a steering wheel. Instead, it's equipped with an innovative control pad in the center console. To drive, you simply place your hand on the pad, and the car responds to your movements, intuitively adapting to your intentions. The system uses biometric feedback to create a seamless connection between human and machine, ensuring that the car feels like an extension of yourself. The AVTR also features advanced artificial intelligence capable of learning and adapting to its driver. From adjusting the interior lighting based on mood to optimizing driving routes for efficiency and beauty, the car becomes a collaborative partner in every journey. Inspired by nature and film, Mercedes-Benz partnered with James Cameron and his Avatar team to create a vehicle that mirrors the harmony between technology and nature portrayed in the movie. The car's name, AVTR, is not only a nod to the film but also an acronym for Advanced Vehicle Transformation. From its glowing blue accents to its pulsating energy signature, the AVTR feels like it could belong on Pandora, the lush, bioluminescent moon in Avatar. The vehicle's ability to breathe through its moving flaps and respond dynamically to its environment makes it seem like a living organism rather than a machine. A glimpse into the future. While the Mercedes-Benz Vision AVTR is a concept car, it serves as a roadmap for the future of mobility. It challenges us to think differently about how we interact with vehicles, how those vehicles interact with the environment, and how design can inspire change. The AVTR isn't just cool, it's revolutionary. In a world grappling with environmental challenges and rapidly advancing technology, the AVTR stands as a beacon of what's possible when creativity and responsibility come together. It's not just the world's coolest concept car, it's a glimpse of a brighter, more sustainable future. The AVTR's legacy. The Vision AVTR may never hit the roads in its current form, but its influence is already rippling through the automotive industry. Concepts like biometric controls, sustainable materials, and vehicles that interact dynamically with their environments are no longer confined to the realm of science fiction. Automakers worldwide are exploring these ideas, inspired by the bold steps Mercedes has taken. Moreover, the AVTR challenges consumers to rethink their relationship with transportation. It asks us to consider not only how we move but how our choices impact the world around us. In this way, the AVTR transcends its status as a concept car to become a symbol of innovation and responsibility. Conclusion. The Mercedes-Benz Vision AVTR is more than a marvel of design and engineering, it's a call to action. By envisioning a future where vehicles harmonize with the planet, Mercedes-Benz has created something truly extraordinary. Whether it's through its sustainable materials, groundbreaking technology, or symbiotic relationship with its driver, the AVTR pushes boundaries and inspires hope. In the end, the Vision AVTR isn't just a glimpse of what's possible, it's a reminder that the future is ours to create. With innovation, imagination, and responsibility, we can build a world where mobility and sustainability go hand in hand. The vehicle glided silently, its feet hovering over the ground with a grace that defied physics. And then, the magic happened. The car-sized two iridescent lights embedded in the front of the vehicle lit up, and as the car shifted, they seemed to scan the environment, adjusting the shape of the body and its movements accordingly. The audience gasped as the car seemed to acknowledge their presence, reacting almost like a sentient creature. Mercedes AVTR is not a car, the chief designer, drive, animal, announced with a twinkle in her eye. It is a living experience, a harmony of man, machine, and nature. It is a vision of the future. The name AVTR was not just a reference to the company's prestigious history, but also an homage to the Avatar films that had inspired this project, a fusion of organic and mechanical that celebrated the symbiosis between humanity and the planet. But what truly set the AVTR apart was its mind-bending technology. The car didn't have a steering wheel, nor did it have traditional controls. Instead, it was operated using an intuitive interface that harnessed the power of neural link technology. The driver could simply think about where they wanted to go, and the AVTR would respond, understanding not only the destination but the emotional state and intentions of its driver. Inside, the cabin felt like the calmest place on Earth. The seats, made from sustainable vegan leather, molded to the body's shape, responding to every movement. The interior was bathed in soft ambient light, which changed in intensity and color based on the driver's emotions, calming hues when stress levels increased, energizing colors when the need for focus arose. It wasn't just a car interior, it was a living space designed for well-being. In front of the driver, the dashboard was a seamless display of holographic controls, made of biodegradable materials, where every button, slider, and dial was projected into existence as needed. Information about the vehicle's systems, energy consumption, and surroundings was communicated via an advanced augmented reality interface that could be activated with a simple gesture or thought. Imagine a world where your car is no longer an object of control, drive, Muller continued, but a partner, a collaborator in your journey. The AVTR is not here to serve you, it is here to understand you, protect you, and help you navigate a world that is increasingly interconnected. The magic didn't stop there. The AVTR was powered by an entirely new form of energy, a sustainable organic battery system that utilized bioenergetic materials sourced from plants, algae, and fungi. The car was not only capable of zero emissions, it could purify the air around it as it drove, extracting carbon dioxide and replenishing oxygen, contributing to the environment rather than harming it. Its propulsion system was a marvel of technology, with a revolutionary biodynamic drive that used magnetic levitation and advanced aerodynamics to reduce friction, allowing the car to glide effortlessly. On long journeys, it could even recharge from the surrounding environment, using solar energy, wind power, and the kinetic energy of movement to sustain itself. As the show continued, the AVTR took center stage, evolving with each new feature unveiled. A prototype of the car was revealed to have an adaptive skin that could change shape in real time, with scales that adjusted to provide more aerodynamics when on high-speed highways and more rugged protection when off-road. The car was connected to an AI-driven ecosystem that anticipated not only the driver's needs but also the world around them, gathering data from weather patterns, road conditions, and traffic patterns to ensure the smoothest, most efficient ride possible. And then, there was the most astonishing part of all. The Mercedes AVTR was equipped with a system that allowed it to communicate with other AVTRs, creating a cooperative network of vehicles that could coordinate movement in real time. Imagine a fleet of AVTRs traveling in perfect synchrony, seamlessly integrating into traffic, sharing information, and optimizing energy usage. This wasn't just the future of transportation, it was the future of mobility as a shared experience. By the end of the day, the Mercedes AVTR had captured the imagination of everyone in the room, leaving an indelible mark on the future of transportation. It was clear that the world was no longer headed toward a future of isolated, individual machines. It was moving toward a future of symbiosis, between man and machine, between humans and nature. The AVTR wasn't just a car, it was a glimpse into a future where technology was no longer something we controlled, but something we partnered with, a future where, as drive, Muller said with a smile, we don't just drive cars, we coexist with them. And as the audience filed out of the room that day, one thing was clear, the Mercedes AVTR wasn't just a vision of the future, it was the future, cooler, smarter, and more connected than anyone could have ever imagined. The age of symbiosis. As the AVTR evolved, so did the world around it. What had started as a groundbreaking prototype, the melding of nature, technology, and human consciousness, soon became the cornerstone of a global transformation. The Mercedes AVTR didn't just alter the automotive industry, it fundamentally reshaped the relationship between humanity and the planet. The concept of mobility as a symbiotic experience was now a reality, and it was spreading faster than anyone could have imagined. The global AVTR network, In the years following the AVTR's release, Mercedes-Benz realized that to truly create a sustainable future, they had to go beyond the confines of a single vehicle. The real innovation lay in interconnectedness, the ability for AVTRs to work together, share information, and optimize human movement in harmony with the Earth's natural rhythms. The concept of individual ownership began to fade as the AVTR network blossomed into a global, living ecosystem. Every AVTR on the road became part of a larger collective intelligence. The vehicles didn't simply communicate with each other, they cooperated. If one AVTR encountered a roadblock, it would share real-time data with others in the vicinity, allowing each car to adjust its path in real time. But the AVTR didn't stop there. It was capable of responding to environmental changes, too, like shifts in weather patterns or the needs of local ecosystems. The AVTR network wasn't just a way to streamline transportation, it was a new way of organizing cities, countries, and even continents. It facilitated fluid mobility, where people could travel without worrying about traffic, accidents, or congestion. Cities and towns were no longer designed around the assumption of isolated traffic flows. Instead, they became interconnected hubs of movement, where AVTRs, whether traveling long distances or just short commutes, could tap into the larger network of intelligence that regulated everything. The cities of the future were no longer divided by traditional infrastructural lines. Instead, they were built with adaptive environments that adjusted according to the needs of both the people and the planet. Streets became interactive surfaces that communicated directly with the AVTRs, adjusting to weather conditions, pedestrian traffic, and even the emotional state of the people in the area. Embodying the principles of coexistence, in a bold move, Mercedes-Benz introduced a new program called Symbiosis in Motion, inviting cities, businesses, and private owners to contribute to a new framework of living. People were no longer just owners of AVTRs, they were partners in a new ecological and social pact. Owners could donate energy credits to the network, participate in carbon-neutral projects, and help fund green spaces for every new AVTR sold. These initiatives incentivized eco-conscious behavior, while also supporting communities around the globe. As more cities adopted the AVTR's ecosystem, they began to see a drastic reduction in urban pollution. Air quality soared as AVTRs converted CO2 into breathable oxygen, and street-level plants and trees flourished in urban spaces. Global biodiversity began to recover, as more green areas and wildlife corridors were integrated into city planning. Every AVTR on the road acted as a guardian of nature, purifying the air, replenishing the soil, and enhancing the ecological health of its surroundings. The next leap, human-AI symbiosis. By 2045, the AVTR had taken a revolutionary step forward with the introduction of Neuralink 2.0, a highly advanced brain-computer interface that allowed passengers to communicate with their vehicles at a deeper, more personal level. The new system had evolved far beyond the first neural interface, which had simply read basic emotional states. Now, the AVTR could read cognitive patterns, sensory inputs, and even subconscious thoughts, enabling a truly symbiotic relationship between the human driver and the vehicle. Imagine this, you don't just drive the AVTR, you become one with it. The vehicle could anticipate your thoughts and desires, understanding not just where you wanted to go, but how you wanted to experience the journey. Did you want to feel energized on your morning commute? The car would adjust its atmosphere, playing uplifting music and infusing the air with invigorating scents. Did you need a moment of peace after a stressful day? The AVTR would sense that and envelop you in a calming environment, its soothing motions providing a form of silent therapy. The boundaries between human and machine were blurring. The AVTR wasn't just a tool, it was a partner in every aspect of life, helping its passengers unlock their fullest potential. Some passengers even reported that their relationship with the AVTR helped them unlock creative or emotional breakthroughs, as the vehicle's AI acted as an empathetic, intuitive guide. But it wasn't just passengers who benefited. Cities began to use AVTRs to monitor and maintain public well-being. Every vehicle was equipped with advanced sensors to track air quality, social interactions, and mental health data from the people around it. While privacy was fiercely protected, this information helped local authorities respond more effectively to community needs, whether it was a spike in pollution levels, increased stress in a particular area, or even the movement of wildlife around urban spaces. The economy itself began to shift. As the AVTR network evolved, Many traditional industries were disrupted, but in their place emerged an entirely new economy of collaborative, sustainable practices. Shared mobility networks allowed people to access transportation without the need for ownership, while industries focused on renewable energy and ecological restoration flourished. AVTRs were no longer just tools for moving people, they were vital elements in a holistic system of health, well-being, and sustainability. The era of true symbiosis. By 2050, the AVTR had become so deeply integrated into global society that it was no longer viewed as an innovative vehicle. It had become the blueprint for the future, no longer bound by the constraints of fossil fuels, exhaust pipes, or even rigid driving rules. The world had embraced a fully symbiotic existence with technology. The AVTR wasn't just a car, it was a living partner, an intelligent ally that connected individuals, communities, and the Earth itself. The dream of a world where humanity lived in harmony with technology and nature had come true. As the AVTR's creators had always envisioned, the future wasn't just about progress, it was about coexistence. The AVTR had started as a concept car, but it had evolved into something much greater, a symbol of hope, connectivity, and unity in an age where the well-being of the Earth and its people were no longer afterthoughts, but the driving forces of innovation. In the end, the AVTR wasn't just a vehicle, it was a reminder that the future could be as cool, as compassionate, and as alive as we dared to dream. And the world, indeed, had dreamed big.